So we be live, we be videoing. So, it's so freewheeling because we literally just sat down and I just turned on the video equipment. But I'm sitting here with somebody I know as Monika Pabst. Okay, but you've gone by many names.
Yeah.
And can we talk about that? Would you just
Sure.
kind of, I'd like to, because I know like Monika Kozmik, I know...
My maiden name is Monika Johnson.
Now that's a new one. Okay. And so what are some of the other names? Monika Rose for a while?
Rose Kozmik.
Okay.
I'm still going by that. I go by Rose Kozmik. Monika Pabst was my married name before. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Scoot your chair over a little bit. Can we scoot your chair over a little bit? Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
So yeah,
I've never gone by Monika Joplin though.
It's funny because, you know, most people see you as a performer. And of course, I know you. And so I see Monika. And you're this larger-than-life figure to, I think, a lot of the public. And see, she's looking at me like I'm crazy. Because when we play, it's this, you probably don't notice this stuff, but when we played last summer in Montana, and you walked out wearing something similar to this, every eye was on you. And you probably don't really know. I don't know if you notice it or not. Do you? Do you feel that way?
No, I guess I don't really look for it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I like to be colorful. I've always liked to be colorful. That's why I was so different. Quoting Janice, that's why I was so different from everybody in my junior high school and stuff, is because nobody understood me and I was different. You know, I just like to be different because when I was raised, I wasn't raised by my parents per se. They were always doing their own thing. So I was always doing my own thing.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of raised myself, I guess you'd say, except for they supplied the food and the rent, basically.
Well, I've always thought you and I kind of had something in common. I was thinking about this last night because you've always done your own thing ever since I've known who you are for a very long time, but only like the last 10 years have I gotten to know who you are. Right. And I was thinking, you know, you always just kind of plow your own trail. And I was kind of like that in a way, because even in the 80s, I never used hairspray. I never wore fishnet I never got on the 80s bandwagon.
Yeah.
I was always kind of a blue jeans t-shirt.
Well, everybody else was listening to Led Zeppelin and I was listening to Adam Ant. You know, they're like, who's Adam Ant? Well, you just had to be there.
You had to be there. So, and you're kind of, I don't think you don't see yourself, but you're like a treasure to this area for me, because you're one of the people.
Well, you too.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
that's why we make such a good combination on stage, is because, you know, we just click. We just love to play. We love to perform.
And we are playing together.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah. In Cosmic Dreams, you bet.
So, and I played with you and Dave in Cosmic. Yeah, Dave. I'm gonna slap him the next time I see him. But
I still kind of feel like it was my fault.
It wasn't. But played with you in Cosmic Dreams. And let's see, where was I going with that? Anyway, so what has been going on recently? What's kind of going on right now? You're still doing the Janice set.
Right, and then Aerosmith. We're doing a tribute to Aerosmith. Trying to, but
yeah.
The tribute to Aerosmith, we're doing the cover songs. We recorded a CD that's going to be a surprise for something else. I'm not even going to hint around what it is.
And it's sounding fabulous, what I've heard.
Yeah,
really,
we did
really
it up
good.
at Cider Mountain.
Yeah.
Awesome place.
Yeah.
Wow, that place was just beautiful. You walk in and there's anything and everything that you want. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah, I might fly in some pictures from the studio too.
Yeah.
Because you have the video I made, right? You still have that. Because I was up there doing some video.
Yeah, there was some interesting little things that we...
And you know, speaking of Cider Mountain, I've known Chris for years. I mean, I remember when Chris put his very first studio together, right down there off of Driscoll Boulevard. I don't know if you knew about that. Yeah, when he first got into it. And, you know, back then it was all analog. It was tape. We weren't doing all this digital stuff.
Which takes triple as long
Yeah.
to do things.
I know. Right now, I can sit down and write a song in an hour and edit it and put it all, paste, whatever.
Yeah, you write some really cool stuff.
We'll talk
We're gonna
about
have
that
some
too.
fun.
We'll talk about that
Yeah.
too. We're going to be doing some writing.
Finally bring Roxbury to life.
So yeah, I know, like the Monika I know is the girl at practice who kind of comes down in her sweatpants sometimes, and just kind of really chill. And you are not anything like the public persona that I think a lot of people see when they look at you. You're just very down to earth, very normal.
I don't want to be an ordinary girl. When I'm home, I don't want to be that person. That's my problem. Is now I'm fighting myself because I want to play guitar. I'm jealous of you and Drew when you're downstairs now. It's like I should be freaking doing that. You know, that's my job.
You will be.
But I fight myself constantly because I'm so used to when I raised my kids. I did my housework. I did the home motherly thing, and I don't even realize that I'm by myself and I can do what I want. I can walk outside, go in the car, and take off. I'm not even still used to that.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, because I had kids since I was 16 years old, and so that was all I knew. And so now I've got 4 kids.
Yeah.
I've got Squeaks, I've got Zaba, I've got the bird, and then I've got my Cosmo.
And don't forget about Jay.
Oh yeah, well he's in a whole other category.
Jay the kid.
He's the toddler.
So I like to go to people's Facebook pages and just look at photos and ask you questions about them. And one of the photos I saw that I really liked was, I like some of these photos here. Where were these taken?
Andy took those at
Andy
the
McAlpine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was taken at the Roadhouse when we did the tribute there.
Very
I believe,
nice.
Yeah.
I miss the Roadhouse. That was like the
that was
last
a really
dying
nice place.
breath of so much of what we do.
Vern put a lot of his energy in there.
Yeah.
When he was doing the jam. I mean, he
Sure.
was practically barely walking, and he was in there playing.
Yeah.
I
know. I remember that.
Yeah.
And Joey, of course, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, these are just kind of fun, fun photos. So, tell me about this phase. See, she doesn't know what photos I'm going to click on. So
I make wool dreads.
Okay.
And so, in order to display all of the different colors that I could do that I had at the time, I made a whole bunch of them, and I installed them so that people could see if they wanted to have this color or this color or this color.
So you were your own display cabinet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I would love this picture of you. So what's going on here?
Dave took that, and that was for Cosmic Storms, and kind of like not really controlling the world, but more holding the world in my hands, wanting to help people, wanting to, I don't know, that's the best way to describe it. It was kind of came from a Dio thing, where Dio had the crystal ball in his hand. That's where that came from, and Dave did all that design and stuff.
So was that a green screen?
Yeah.
Okay, and so all right,
that was the green screen in his studio.
Yeah, he had a great studio. Love that studio. What about this phase here?
Really?
Is that your natural hair color?
No.
No. So you dyed it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I liked doing the blonde for a while, but it was such a pain in the butt to keep up.
I know.
And I lost all my hair broke. I mean, it was
It's bad.
Because right after that, I dyed it all when we went down to Vegas, and they had the tribute people down there. They had Elvis and Aretha Franklin and all this. And I'm like, I want to take my picture. Well, we took my picture with my hair in all those colors, and it looked wrong to be with all these people and then that. So I went to the hotel room, changed my hair color, and came back into the picture.
Just like that, huh?
Yep. That was my purpose.
That one's a little bit smaller.
Pig out.
Yep, pig out in the park.
Pig out. Yeah, I made this vest.
This
I did make this vest.
And you make a lot of your own clothing. We'll have to talk about that. This looks like a bird, an Alan picture. Did Alan take this by any chance?
No, that was. Oh goodness. I can't remember who. No. It wasn't a photographer. Well, I think she might be a photographer. I'm not sure, but I can't remember her name. I'll get it.
Okay. Yeah.
Those are the many faces of Monika.
And this is pretty laid back for you.
Oh yeah.
In the apparel. Here, I wanted to ask you about this one. Let's see. Let's find this one here, because this is not really something you do a lot of. this particular. See, this is just kind of you.
Dave took that, and my son's sticking his tongue out at Dave.
Ah.
Yeah, that was taken out.
I love that.
And Dave took that
picture. What happened here? That was your.
Andy actually told me to growl at him.
Yeah.
Roar! And so I did, and he put my fangs
Who
on my
put?
teeth.
Is that Photoshop?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you had caps on
No.
your teeth. He did that.
No, he said he liked my teeth before too, because I've used those Invisalign and straightened them out. He said these two teeth got really cool. I think he's even done it now too.
Oh, where is it here? This one right here. So, you are not really known for showing a lot of skin. Really. I mean, look at you now. You're showing just a little bit. You're not like, and so this.
I don't know. That might change here in about a month. Don't tell him.
So, where was this taken?
That was taken outside of Cruisers, and Andy took that picture.
Really?
I was showing off Goldie's signature.
Okay.
Goldie McJohn's signature there on my leg.
Yeah. So, right here, right where the mouse is.
Yep.
That looks like a studio picture. So, it was just right outside of Cruisers.
That was right outside of Cruisers, and then he did all the green screen looking stuff in the back.
Yeah, so whose bike was that?
That might have been Cecil's.
Okay.
I don't remember. It might have been Cecil's.
So, I just like to look at Facebook. You know, it's kind of a walk down memory lane. Then, of course, here's you, Jay and Dave.
Bolos.
At Bolos.
Yeah, that was like one of our first shows, I think. Yeah, 2013.
When did I play with you? It wasn't too far after that when I came and played with you guys.
I don't remember if Blas was playing with us at that time or not. I can't remember. Oh, no. It's saying Blues at the Bend.
Oh, Blues.
It is Blues at the Bend because the stars are in the background. Yeah, so it was Blas.
Yeah. I love how Joey put the Palomino logo in behind the band. I think that's so smart. If I had a bar, that's the first thing I would do. Is put the name of my...
That's at Curly's.
That's at Curly's.
That was for Spokane Night Out.
Oh, is that the girl who does that?
Mm-hmm.
What's her name? I've met her before, but...
I want to say Angela, but I don't think that's it.
I can't think of her name right now. So, here you are. See, this is just the fun, cute.
Yeah.
Just...
We were doing modeling pictures, Jay and I, outside.
Uh-huh.
That was in the fall, right after we had gotten together.
So, I don't know. Why don't you tell us about the Janice Project? Just what that means to you, and
I'm going to be honest.
Do it. Where that comes from.
People aren't going to like it. They aren't going to believe me, but I know some people will.
That's okay.
When I started the project back in '98, I was practicing with group therapy, and we were downstairs in the basement, and we were in the middle of the lyrics were sitting up on top of a keyboard, and the lyrics fell down first. That wasn't a big deal, but there was no wind around. Well, the second time, the lights went out. We were practicing, because I didn't really know Move Over yet. Mm-hmm. And so we were practicing the song, and the lights went out in the basement. I'm like, okay. So we went and fixed that. Well, then this kept happening constantly, anytime it had anything to do with Janice. There were specific lights down at the flame. If I was sitting underneath of the lights, the light above me, kind of like those little things, would start flashing. And then when I'd get really depressed and want to stop the show, the lights would start flashing in my house. There was a fluorescent light that was above her tattoo poster that I had that kept flashing on and off when I was doing the biography for Joe Brash. All these things kept happening, so I started kind of cueing that in, going, well, okay, I'll just start doing more and more of this. And as I was doing it, better things started happening. I guess I was driving down the road in our trans van, and I'm in the middle of practicing one of the cassette tapes, and it gets to that part where I woke up at 9:30 in the morning and the headlights went out. Why did that happen? And they came back on. And this happened constantly. And it started happening. Even Jay witnessed it. What was it, a week ago? The lamp right next to our couch started to do the exact same thing. He's like, okay, now that's the first time I've ever witnessed that. And I said, well, I'm used to it.
So mystical, paranormal.
That's kind of what I believe. I mean, even if other people don't believe it, I know that my ex went through it with me. My kids have gone through it with me. That's what I believe. So that's what I put the energy into for the show. And every time I tried to shut it down, it was like she would come back in my lap and go, no, this is going to happen, or I get a call from somebody to do a show, or I get this, or I get that. And as soon as I wanted to do my own thing, she would go, you, and put it back in my lap again.
But I've always kind of had my own theories about tribute bands, But yours is a little different because you're so, well, for one, you're really good at it, and you're so intense and serious about it.
I don't know why I bring the costumes back bead for bead.
I know you do.
It's like I have to do them exactly.
Shoes.
Yeah.
I know.
$400 for a pair of shoes.
I
because
know.
They're the ones that she wore on the Pearl album. And then that's just, I have no idea why. But it is what it is.
My theory is that, like she was something great. And you want people to understand.
You just got to shoot. You got to shoot for the stars.
I think that's kind of my theory. It's kind of like when I did the Van Halen tribute.
Right.
It wasn't really about,
or the Stevie Ray Vaughan tribute.
but the Van Halen tribute was more me. I like the Stevie tribute too. I like that, but the Stevie tribute just kind of came about almost by accident because I was like, I want to be a front man. I want to do something where I could be the front man because I didn't want to have to worry about 4 or 5 pieces, just a little 3-piece.
Right.
And it was practical, and I've always loved Stevie.
That's the fun thing about us playing together is we're both front. Sorry, didn't mean to.
Well, I take back seat to you, but whatever.
No.
I know my place. Place.
We're together in this.
That's nice to hear you say that because, well, it's like as a lead guitar player, you grow up in playing second fiddle to the lead singer. No matter what.
I don't ever see it that way. I see the band as a whole, but you and I are front.
That's
Drew, I can't lean on Drew.
Well, he's too skinny. He'll fall over.
Thanks for that. but no, you and I can we mold.
Yeah.
And we hadn't even played together very long before. It just felt right.
Yeah.
Having Dave there was the three of the Leos up front was perfect, and but we do mold. And
so that's kind of my theory. That's how like the Van Halen was like, I love this guy so much. I just want to bring his music to people. Mm-hmm. That was kind of it's like, hey, look at this great music. It only happened for 8 years. I love everything Van Halen did, even Van Halen 3.
You've even got your doors of your garage, your cupboard painted.
I know, my cupboard.
I saw that.
Yeah, and so that's kind of why I did it, and it was fun. I loved the music, but it's just like, hey, this guy was great. He was one of a kind.
We shot for the stars.
Yeah. And, now we're doing the Aerosmith tribute, and I've always argued that I have a hierarchy, just the way I am. I see things as, and I've always argued that Aerosmith is the greatest American rock band, and by multiple metrics. Dream On alone is just about enough to do it for me.
The variety of type of blues that they do,
all original members still, except for Joey was kind of doing this thing. Yeah. But Brad Whitford,
they're all doing their own thing too.
Yeah, but when they toured. Yeah, it was just a great. Anyway, I love Aerosmith, so it's like, you want to do Aerosmith tribute? I'm down with that.
That one's different than the Janis tribute. I love doing Aerosmith, and I've sang Aerosmith. Aerosmith has been my idol for years and years and years, and I've loved singing his stuff. I even have kind of a stance like him on stage, just because I'm used to doing that. But the Aerosmith is more. I don't want it to be exact. I want it to be kind of more our way because they didn't do any of the covers. Exactly. They did it different. So that's what I'm trying to do with ours. Is just make it our own, punch for.
Did I tell you how I got my first Aerosmith album? Well, it was when Toys in the Attic came out, whatever, 74, 75, something like that. And I was listening to the radio, and they said the first caller to call in gets to throw out the first pitch at the Indians game tomorrow night. And I picked up the phone, and I got it, and I won. And they said, how old are you? I said, well, I'm 10 years old or whatever. They go, well, see, I said, no, you won't see me tomorrow night. I'm grounded.
Oh, no.
I can't go anywhere. I just thought I'd try to win. And they go, oh, that's too bad. And they said, how about we send you out an Aerosmith record? So they sent me Toys in the Attic, and that thing came.
Wow.
And, dropped the needle on it. This is great.
Wow.
But I was grounded, so I didn't get to throw out the first pitch. But I'd rather have the Aerosmith album.
The first album that I ever heard was what my ex was playing it. And he was playing, I think it was Mama Ken or something like that. And it was on the live bootleg album. So I heard him live for the first time. And I love live albums. I think they show the energy that they really have.
Oh God, where would Kiss be without their first live album?
Right.
It launched them into superstardom.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where I first heard them, and I fell in love with it, and I've still got the album to this day.
Yeah, but you do a lot of different music. Like when you're not doing the Janice thing, when you're not doing the tribute thing, I'm always amazed at when I get together with you to look at the set list. Like you mentioned, Adamant, we got that.
Right, and then Sweating Bullets.
Sweating Bullets.
I love that.
I do too. I love Megadeth. What else was on the list? The Adamant.
Quiet Riot.
Quiet Riot.
I Don't Believe in Love. Queensryche. To see how
Uprising.
Jeff. Yeah, Uprising.
Yeah,
from Muse. Jeff
Muse
was also one of my idols because I learned from David Kyle over in Seattle.
And that's the same instructor that taught Jeff Tate.
And taught Ann Wilson. And
yeah.
So, I mean, I used him as one of my teachers in the way that I sing. So.
Yeah. Queensryche needs to get back together.
I don't see that ever happening.
I don't either. There's a lot of bad blood
Once you get
there.
a divorce, that's it, man.
I don't know, man. When they start getting low on money, anything could happen. But have you listened to the new Queensryche with La Torre? Mm-mm. Oh, man. It's killer. It's great. It's some of the best Queensryche since, Tribe, that area. That
right.
era.
Well, see, I see Todd as doing a tribute to Jeff.
Yeah.
Kind of. I see him as the tribute artist that stepped up.
But
he's great.
He's so much like him. But Michael Wilton is back to writing great stuff anyway.
Yeah. Cool.
So what is on the what's on deck for this summer?
Oh goodness, we're playing at Cruisers a lot in July. May 20th is when we start the ball rolling next Thursday. From
at
6
Cruisers.
to 9 at Cruisers. And Cruisers seems to be our home. I mean, I love playing there because people...
Me too. It's a mile from my house.
Yeah, that too. Well, it's 2 from ours, but I love the vibe out there. I've always loved that place.
Right.
And all my friends are out there, and it'll be a good time. And then July 10th, we're playing the Summer Jam with a whole bunch of different bands, and that's when we're going to put out some original stuff,
Yeah,
too.
we're going to have a few original tunes on there.
Hopefully I'll be on guitar by then.
All right.
Maybe, hopefully.
Well,
I love my Ouija guitar.
I got. I know the one song that I shared with you has got 3 guitar parts easily.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I can't. Okay. Cool.
I could show you some of those guitar parts.
Because I do know some guitar. I'm not. It's not like I'm playing, dueling banjos all the time.
Right.
That's the first thing I ever played on guitar.
And that's another reason we're here today. I just said, hey, if you're going to come over to work on some music, I want to do the interview. So that's kind of we're actually supposed to be working on that. And then
as long as you have a blue guitar.
I got a deep midnight blue guitar.
There we go.
So what about Beyond Cruisers? We got something in Montana.
Oh, Rockin' the Rivers on August 12th. Yeah, Thursday. We're going to be doing the Janice and the Aerosmith tributes then.
Are those back to back?
The shows?
Yeah. I mean, those are we doing? I'm asking because I don't even know. So we're doing Janice and then doing all in 2 sets, or is it 2 different?
We're doing Janice, and then they're going to have another band come between us, and then they're going to do the Aerosmith.
That's what I get. So 2 time slots.
It looks different.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Even though it'll be the same people, it'll still look different. Same people in the stage.
And that's Rockin' Rivers that got canceled last year.
Hopefully it doesn't get canceled again. I don't see it getting canceled because they're supposed to. Let's not go there.
Yeah, it got canceled last year, but they still did a little private thing, and that's where we went.
Rockin' the Resistance.
Yeah,
that's where we. Yeah, I got to dance with Artie, and that was fun.
Yeah, that was a great. I just turned around and I said, "Where's the beer?" And there was like, "Oh, it's over here! It's over here! Hey, it's over here!" Yeah. So I just, after a long drive, I just wanted a cold beer and sit by the pond. It was a nice pond, but yeah, it was quaint. It was really nice. So there'll be a costume change, obviously.
Right.
Just that's good. That'll give us time to regroup. And
it's taken a lot to find things that I would use for him.
So, what's kind of the focus for you personally on the kind of the cover band thing? It's not the tribute, but like what we do at Cruisers.
The focus?
Yeah, the style of music, the goal. What do you
kind of doing it our own way, kind of giving it a new twist, just like every other band should do. I mean, there's so many cover bands out there, especially when they're trying to give awards for the best cover song. I want us to be able to do things our own way.
Yeah.
And just be have there be unique spots in there, but have it be our own way and have fun.
I like that because that means I don't have to learn the songs right. Is that true?
Well, there's a couple of little pieces
still
in there
have
you
to-
should have under your belt, but yeah. But no, yeah, you want to make them recognizable, like parts of the solo and stuff. There's certain pieces, like Dave does that one piece in there in his solo for Sweat and Bullets. I mean, you want to have that part in there because it's very signature. People are going to be waiting to hear that. But there's not going to be somebody out there going, that's not how it goes, because we do our own way.
The way I look at it, if I start on the same note and I end on the same note,
right,
I'm probably going to be okay.
I hope so.
That's why I've always done so.
As long as those other notes that are tickling in between are fitting in there.
What most people don't know about me is, I sight read so much that I'm not the best ear player.
Wow.
A lot of people don't realize that.
Wow.
So when I listen to stuff, I have to slow it down, and it just takes me forever. I'd rather just look at a score. I'm done. I got it.
I've learned everything by ear. I can read a little bit because I had band when I was young, and I did some theory at school, but I learned a lot of things by ear.
But you know what's happening now for guitar players, and this is why I actually been learning more by ear like the last 5 years or so, because everybody, like, there's a few really popular YouTube channels, and some guy will learn a song on YouTube, and then everybody plays it the way he does.
And not all of those are right.
No, they're not right. A lot of them are not right.
So you're doing a tribute to the person who played it on YouTube, basically.
Yeah, and I remember, growing up, we would all be trying to learn Van Halen. We'd all say, hey, did you work on Jamie's Crying? What did you come up with on that? Mm-hmm. And everybody's like cloning
Jamie's Crying.
These things on YouTube. But so, yeah, we got the Cruiser shows. Got that show.
Yeah, we're even in there in September in Cruisers.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
So any outdoor parties up at the Kozmik Flats this summer?
Hopefully. Pretty soon.
What do you call it? I just made that name up. That's Monica's house.
Cosmic Jam on the patio.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cosmic Jam on the patio.
We love doing that. It's a lot of fun. We haven't really planned it yet because we've got some. June 5th we're playing at the Bullhead.
Right.
We've got a 70s party there where Janice will be performing as well as a lot of different 70s tunes. So I don't know if you're into doing 70s. I know you're.
I'm a 70s kid. That's
okay.
Yeah, so I started playing guitar in like 74. So that's why when the 80s hit and the big hair and the makeup, and I hated
I was made for loving you, baby.
See, I hated Motley Crue when I remember seeing Motley Crue going, these guys are terrible.
See, I practiced them constantly.
They won me over to a little bit of a degree, but that's fine. Anyway, anything else you want to share? Anything else you want to tell people about or get into?
You had said something about SFCC.
Yeah, SFCC was just where I first met you. That's where I first saw you.
Really?
Yeah. What year did you go there?
2000, 99, 98. It was 98 because I was in college.
Yeah. So I don't know what I was doing there, but because I went there in early 90s. But Joe Brash, I think I was taking lessons from Joe Brash.
Okay.
Is what I think.
Okay.
And yeah, he
pretty much dressed like this every
and
time.
he was just like, he just loved you. I was like, who is that girl over there? What's her deal? And he was telling me about you and how you're this great singer and you're taking classes. And I wanted to learn how to.
Now you won't even talk to me. Okay.
Yeah. Joe, I wanted to learn how to play some jazz guitar.
That's where I took my lessons.
And I was pretty far along. I'd already been playing classical for years. But it's like, I want to learn some jazz stuff. That's just how I've always been. Actually, I signed up for cello when I was there.
Oh, wow.
And I walked into the cello teacher. It was Wayne Smith at the time. I walked into his office with my classical guitar. Mm-hmm. And he looks at me and goes, I'm not a guitar teacher. And I go, I know. I said, I'm learning the Bach cello suites on guitar.
Wow.
So I figured I would just spend the semester playing the cello stuff on the guitar for you, and you can twist twist and tweak my interpretation to sound more like a cello. And he said, that sounds like fun. Let's do it.
Wow, that's awesome.
So I spent a semester studying the cello suites with an actual cello teacher.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was
God,
fun.
that's cool.
It was weird because on a cello you can't play as big of chords.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in guitar you've got 6 strings, and for cello you can only
Right.
do double and triple.
You have any
stops.
recordings of that?
No.
Oh, well, you
No.
could always do it again, though.
Let's just wrap things up with this picture here. This happened recently, and I wanted to come, but I can't remember. I was doing something. But who are these? This is your old band.
Yep, this is Bob and Annette. Bob played bass, Annette played keys and backup vocals. That was when she was just starting out, and I was kind of pulling her up on front with me to get her used to the stage. Darren, I met him through Psychotic Days. That was the name of his band at
Darren
the time.
Truitt.
Darren Truitt.
Yeah.
Truitt, skull! Well, Dwayne Satron was the guitar player
Yeah.
for Psychotic Days, and that's how I met him. And then we went to Frank's Basement, was Bob and Annette and Dwayne, and Justin Maynard, who lives over in Montana. And then that was all Frank's Basement. And then Dwayne and Eric Klagus and Justin were Escape from Frank's Basement. And then there's Jay and his son Jeremy in the background.
Yeah, I was wondering who the 2 weird guys were in the back.
Yeah, the 2 drummers. Doing their drummer thing.
Jay's just sitting right over there. He's just being so quiet.
In the background.
He's always behind me.
So anyway, this is just kind of how I do my interviews, just uncut.
He even washed the door and the dash and stuff because I was wearing all white in his
Jay
truck.
did?
Yeah, he pushed everything off so I wouldn't get dirty.
What a sweet man.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad he wouldn't do that to my guitars.
Yeah, you're sitting over there. Make yourself useful. Well, that's down in our studio. That's down in the, rehearsal room.
Yeah,
It is
that's
studio.
it.
Well, yeah, it is. It's a studio. The kitchen is the studio part of it. Hey, you make do with what you got.
Yep. It looks
And I love
good.
that guitar.
Yeah, I've
that
always
quart.
wanted one.
It's a quart. I bought it, I think, for a couple $100 or something.
Isn't that crazy how you can buy any double neck for a couple $100?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, God, when I was a kid, it was
I've been looking for a Gibson bass.
bass guitar,
Yeah,
double neck,
the red one. No, not a double neck.
or just a bass.
Yeah, there's nothing like the sound of that bass. I played one with Dave Gypsy for a while, and it's just one of those things that you hear it and it's like, yes, that's how it's supposed to sound. You have a little bit of fuzz to it, and it's good.
Yeah.
I love fuzz bass.
Yeah, me too.
Great.
And it's funny because a lot of bass players, like Geddy Lee's bass is distorted, and you don't really even notice it until you really listen to it.
That's how I like it. You don't want to erase the notes.
Mm-hmm.
You want it just to be colored a little bit. You know?
Kind of like what Drew did because Drew was playing bass last summer when we were kind of.
And the recordings, Eddie Ramirez did a couple of tunes with the fuzz bass.
Did he?
Just enough, just like Getty. You can hear it. It's pretty cool.
Right. So as we depart, just what's the current lineup? And
Drew Barrington, you of course, and JT and Jay. That's our lineup for Cosmic
2
Dreams.
guitars, bass, drums, vocals. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully 3.
Yes. We'll get that.
Hopefully 3. That's my plan.
All right. Well, let's get busy and put our list and stuff together for this next gig.
Definitely.
Thanks, you guys.
Woohoo!
And that's all she wrote. $33. Whew.
Is that all? Wow, it felt like forever. We don't usually
That's not
sit
what you're
and...
supposed to say.
That went by
It
fast.
felt like forever.